Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a quick little video on how to chop parsley. And parsley is probably the fresh herb I use the most. And I like using fresh herbs, but the problem is they get really expensive, first of all. And the other issue is you end up buying it and it costs a lot of money and you only use a little bit and throw it away. So one of the things I learned recently is that you can freeze parsley. It actually freezes really well. So what I started doing is if I see a nice bunch of parsley that's a good price, I'll buy a couple of them. I'll bring them home and chop it all up and portion it out and freeze them so I have it ready to go and I can take out when I need it. So let me show you how to do it. All right, so no doubt you've seen this a million times, right? The old produce bag. So just take out your parsley. And then the first thing you want to do is remove the tie that keeps the bunch together. Okay, and I like to put them in a strainer like this. All right, so I'll unwrap both of these. And then we're going to move them to the sink and give them a good wash. All right, so now with some cold water, we're just going to give this a good wash. Make sure you get all the dirt off. And especially, I like to make sure I wash the stems as well, because I save those for soup and stock. Okay, so I'm going to give both a nice wash. All right, and then just shake it off a little bit and let some of that water drain out. So my parsley's nice and clean, and I drained it a little bit, but I wanted to also get it a little more dry. So I got a clean towel here, and I'm just going to squeeze it into my towel and just dry it off a little bit, just like that. All right, so to chop this, to start with, I'm going to grab the stem end here, and I'm just going to start to shave off the leaves just as best I can to begin like this, okay? And then I have this handful of the stems. This is going to go right into a freezer bag, and I'm going to save these. I use these in soup, and I use it in stock, okay? And then I'll do the same thing with the other half. Okay, just like this. And you want to get most of the leaves off, okay? Don't have to be perfect. All right, so that's it. I can fold this up. I'll put it right in the freezer. And then the next thing you want to do is to start to pick through this. So what I do is I kind of move it to one side just to make it easier. And then I want to just pick off all the leaves and set the stems aside. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do here. All right, so this looks good. I think I got all the stems. Okay, and now I'm ready to start chopping. And then what I want to do is just kind of push this all into a nice tight mound. All right, and I'm going to take my knife, and I'm using my large cleaver knife, but whatever knife you use is fine. Just a larger knife makes it a little bit easier. And then here's what I do. I just got to put my hand on top like this and just start to break it down a little bit. And just go across and back in one direction, then the opposite direction. Okay, and then just bring it all back together, all right, into a nice pile, and just do the same thing, okay? And my hand stays up on top of the knife. Okay, never put your fingers underneath. And you can see quickly it starts to break down. Now, how fine you chop it depends on what you're making and how you want to use it. But I'm definitely going to keep going for a little bit. I want it to be finer. So again, same process. Just along in one direction and then across in the other direction. And I think that's pretty good. I don't really want to go any smaller than that. I don't know if you can see just how that looks, but that's a nice size for me. Okay, so I think this is done. And you notice what you don't want to see is a lot of green on the board, right? So you don't want to be using, first of all, you don't want to use a dull knife, and you want to chop very swiftly and decisively so that you chop the herb, you don't mash it and kind of bruise it, as it's called, okay? So this looks good. I think we're done. And now let me show you how to portion this out. All right, so now what I like to do is take these little deli containers and just grab a handful, okay? And I know how much about I need for, let's say, some meatballs or a meatloaf. So I'll just grab a handful and portion them out, and you'll get, now I did 2 bunches of parsley here, so you should get at least 4 or 5 of these, and you'll have them in the freezer ready to go. All right, so here you have it. I cleaned up a little bit, and this is what it looks like. So I have 4 containers, so I can make 4 different meals with this parsley. I'll throw those right in the freezer, along with the stems that I will use in soup or to make stock. So I hope you find this video helpful. Now you know how to clean and chop parsley, and now you know, if you didn't know, that you can freeze it ahead so you don't waste any. You can portion it out and have it ready to use. A great tip to get ahead of things for the holidays. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share the video with a friend. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.